Gravity pulls dust particles together to create a ball of fire 2,000 degrees called the Earth. A young planet the size of Mars rushes towards the Earth. From the explosion, a ring of debris formed around the Earth. The debris came together to form the Moon. At 4.5 billion years ago, the Earth's crust has cooled. Days were 6 hours long, and water and meteors were racing towards the Earth filled with water particles, forcing the Earth to be covered in water. At 3.8 billion years ago, the Moon was so close to the Earth that it created giant storms. Volcanic eruptions bursted from the surface, creating land. Underwater, there are underwater chimneys spewing hot liquid called primordial soup. This was the perfect concoction to create unicellular organisms. At 3.5 billion years ago, an organism called stromatolite used photosynthesis to create oxygen and glucose, and the oxygen rusted the iron that fell to the bottom of the ocean. At 1.5 billion years ago, the Earth's crust breaks and the continents move around to form one supercontinent. The Earth's supercontinent breaks into pieces. The rocks take away the CO2 from the air, creating snowball Earth. After millions of years, volcanic eruptions broke through the ice, causing temperature and CO2 levels to rise, melting snowball Earth. Underwater, life was blossoming during the Cambrian explosion. There were trilobites, alaxia, and spined fishes.
375 million years ago, the ozone layer was created. This created a livable atmosphere for land animals. One of these animals was a tiktaalik. This was the first land animal. This is a seed. Until now, plants repopulated by spreading spores. Because there were more trees, the oxygen levels went up. An increase in oxygen causes organisms to grow and increase sizes. This is a dragonfly. About 350 million years ago, they were large enough to carry away small children. There are also lizards that laid eggs. They were the very first leg-laying organisms to have ever formed. This is one of Earth's most important historical breakthroughs. 250 million years ago, the earliest dinosaurs have evolved. The scutosaurs are the earliest ancestors of turtles. They have large spined shells and are herbivores. There are also predators. The gorgonopsids are about the size of large wolves. As the gorgonopsid starts to eat the scutosaur, the ground underneath him starts to heat up and shake. Then it blows up and lakes of magma pushes up from the mantle to the surface. This kills off a bunch of dinosaurs, creating mass extinction, called the Permian extinction. Only 5% of the animals survive this mass extinction. Only a pink algae and a few other animals survive. 200 million years ago, the acid rain stops and vegetation grows back on Earth. Official dinosaurs now roam the Earth. The Ammosaurus stands at 15 feet and they are slow, making easy targets for predators. Pangaea is now one huge continent. Pangaea starts to split apart 190 million years ago. The split up makes up huge oceans, causing mass amounts of fish to come. As the years go by, the fish die and sink to the bottom of the ocean. After millions of years, it becomes oil. As the planet changes over and over again, the animals keep changing and adapting. The ichthyosaur and the pylosaur are two examples of animals changing to adapt to the ever-changing planet. 180 million years ago, the dinosaurs dominate the Earth. The first mammals start to appear. Tiny shrew-like animals are one of our first land ancestors. A huge asteroid implodes on impact when it crashed into the Earth, with pieces of debris and fire everywhere. Almost everything dies off except for the tiny mammals. 47 million years ago, everything is more calm and there is no more huge dinosaurs. This is Ida, the common ancestor of monkeys, apes, and humans. The temperature is now 75 degrees Celsius. The day is almost 24 hours long. 45 million years ago, India is pushing against Asia, making mountains, such as the Himalayan mountains and Mount Everest. 20 million years ago, Earth is just like we know it. 4 million years ago, the first human-like creatures started to form and walk around. They evolved from Ida because the environment started to dry up and the creatures needed to get around searching for food. 1.5 million years ago, a new species called Homo erectus first evolved. They are much like us except they are a bit shorter. 70,000 years ago, ocean levels shrink and the Red Sea is now shallow enough for a new species to get out of Africa, Homo sapiens. They start to spread all over the world and dominate Earth. 40,000 years ago, Homo sapiens arrive at modern-day Europe. Everything is frozen. It is supposed to be summer, but it seems like the middle of the winter. 20,000 years ago, because of the new ice age, an ice bridge forms and the Homo sapiens can now get to the Americas. Today, we have huge cities and a large population of humans now completely dominating the Earth. It may look like we're at the height of life right now, but there's nothing stopping another giant asteroid from crashing into the Earth and starting everything over again.